I finally built and published my first web application, OneExercise, a workout tracker that focuses on mastering one exercise at a time. What I want to talk about is an issue that I came across while using the application, how I used LocalStorage to fix it and improve the app experience. The app is deployed on Vercel, so to show you what the issue was like before I fixed it, I can go to Vercel and then to my projects, then deployments. I'll get a list of all the deployments that I've made to Vercel, and now I can preview a version of the application right before this problem was fixed. So here we have a completely empty OneExercise app. So no workouts and no exercises. So I'm going to quickly create a new exercise. Let's say it's going to be named walk. We're going to track weight and duration. Let's add it to our exercise list. Now we can add a new workout. We have only one exercise to choose from, and let's change the date to yesterday. Then go to the sets tab and start tracking our current set. So I'm going to start a timer. Let's say I will be carrying 5 kilograms. The problem is OneExercise is a web application, so users can restart the page. So if I press Command R to restart the page, my session is gone. So any unsaved workout session would be lost if the page is restarted. Now this problem is even worse on mobile, because users can accidentally reload the page just by pressing and holding down anywhere on the page, which is going to make them lose their current session. But this isn't the only way to run into this problem. While using the app on Android, especially as a PWA downloaded by the Chrome browser, I have noticed that whenever I put the app into the background by switching to another app, sometimes even very temporarily, and then coming back to OneExercise again, the Chrome browser would often restart the application and go to the root page of the app. And then I lose my running unsaved workout session. Now to show you how the app works after fixing the problem, here's the latest version of OneExercise. If we add a new workout, let's go for an exercise that has a timer in it. We can change the date to yesterday and go to sets and start our timer. Now if I reload the page, you can see the timer is still running, no matter how many times I reload the page. And if we look at the date, it is still set to yesterday. Now, even if I close the application and open it up again, you can see that my session is still running. And the only way to dismiss this session is to press on the back button right here. And the workout is not saved because we didn't add any sets. Now, the way this works is by temporarily saving the state of the workout inside of something called LocalStorage. There are different ways to store data in the browser. I had already been using indexedDb in OneExercise to persist the saved workouts and exercises saved by the user, so that way people can start using OneExercise without needing to log in or register. IndexedDB is suitable for storing large amounts of structured data. And I use IndexedDB through a wrapper library called Dexie Js that simplifies working with indexedDB. It still requires a little bit of setup, and it's an overkill for what we want to do. So I was searching for a simpler solution. And since I wanted to save my current unsaved workout session, I thought that perhaps I need to use this thing called sessionStorage. SessionStorage would solve a part of the problem as long as the browser is open or the browser tab is open, so it would solve the reload part of the problem. But a better solution would be to use LocalStorage, which does the same thing, but persists even when the browser is closed and reopened. Using LocalStorage is straightforward. Let's say if we have a variable over here that we want to persist. So at the beginning of our workout session, this value is empty, and then the user chooses a name for their workout. We can watch for this, and when this happens, we can use this method to save this value inside of LocalStorage. So localstorage.setItem, and then this takes a key value pair. So we can name the key anything we want. Let's say we name it an unsaved workout name, and then the value is going to be the value of our variable over here. Then when, for example, we reload the page, we can grab the value of this key from LocalStorage by using this method, localstorage.getItem, unsaved workout name. And finally, when we are ready to clean up, when we don't need this session anymore, we can clean it up by using localstorage.removeItem, and then we use the same key we set in LocalStorage before. LocalStorage can only save strings, so if you have a variable that is not string, you need to turn it into a string first before you save it in local storage. So let's say that we want to save our workout as an object instead of saving each of its properties individually. So let's say our workout has a name and a date. We can save it inside of local storage the same way, using the same method, localstorage.setItem, and then we set the key to unsaved workout. Instead of using the value of this object directly, we need to turn it into a string first, so we use json.stringify. And then when we want to grab the value of our workout from local storage, we can use json.parse, and then the same getItem method. And cleanup is the same as before, localstorage.removeItem unsaved workout. To demonstrate how I persist unsaved workout sessions in OneExercise, I have created this simple stripped down GitHub repo, which has a very basic implementation of using local storage to persist unsaved state in a Nuxt.js app. The repo has two branches, main and improved. Improved just builds up upon the main branch. So I'll run it into a local server, and let's have a look at it. So here's how it works. When we go to the root page of our application, so to localhost 3000, we are getting redirected to the workouts page. And this is because if we go to application, local storage, we do not have an unsaved workout session over here. So if we go to one of those two workouts and we change the inputs of our workout, if you look over here, we have an unsaved workout date set to today. If we update it, it's going to be updated. We have an unsaved workout ID of 1, and we have an unsaved workout name that we can update as well. Now, if we reload the page, the values of our inputs are not going to be reset to the initial values. They are going to be set to the values grabbed from the local storage over here. If we open a new tab and close this one, and we go to the root page of our app again, we're getting redirected to the same workout page that we were at, the same ID, and we're grabbing the values from local storage as well. And the only way to clear this workout session is by pressing the back button over here, and you can see inside of local storage our keys and values have been removed. Now let's have a look at how this works inside of our Nuxt app. If you go to Nuxt.com and press on Get Started, you'll head to the docs and to the installation guide. If you follow these simple steps, you'll have a basic Nuxt app that you can start your project from. And it will look like this, except that you will not have this pages folder yet. App.view is the entry point to your app. Instead of this Nuxt page component, you will have a Nuxt welcome component by default. I'm running the app in a local server over here. So if you go to localhost 3000, your app is going to look like this. So the first thing we'll do is remove this Nuxt welcome component and replace it with the Nuxt page component. And the Nuxt page component is going to allow us to create a directory called pages. It must be called pages. And now each single view page inside of this pages folder, Nuxt is going to take it and turn it into a page or route in our app. So for example, if we create a new page over here and call it hello, let's open it up. A typical view page or a typical view component looks exactly like this. You'll have your template over here, which is going to include your HTML, and then you have the script setup, which is going to include your JavaScript, and then the style tag, which is going to include your style, your CSS. All right, so let's add an H1 over here, and let's add a title to our page, hello page. Now if we go to our application and go to the hello page, and as you can see, Nuxt has taken our page over here inside the pages directory, and it has created a root for us over here. So our mini project app here has only 3 pages. We have the index.view page, which is the root page of our application. Then we have the workouts page. So to go to it, we just add workouts to our current route. And it is named index.view as well, but it's placed inside the workouts folder over here, not inside the pages folder directly. And this is because workouts has another nested root, which is the single workout page. And it is written like this. ID between brackets because we'll pass an ID for Nuxt, and it is going to generate the root dynamically for us. So if we go to workouts1 over here, we go to the single workout page with an ID of 1. So if you look at the route, the ID is 1. We can also type any ID we want, and we will go to a single workout page with this specific ID. So 3 pages: index.view, workouts page, and single workout page. So if we look at the workouts page over here, we have a title inside an h1 element that just shows us that this is the workouts page. Then we have an unordered list. Inside of it, we have 2 list items. Each of those list items include a Nuxt link component, and both of those links just direct us to different workouts with different IDs. Inside OneExercise, what happens is that this list grabs the workout saved in the user's browser and just displays it over here. So those are just 2 hard-coded workouts, just as an example. Right, so let's have a look at the index.view page, which is the root page of our app, the first page that the user will visit when they open up our application. Inside our template here, we only have the h1 element with the title. Then inside the script setup, we're just going to define our router so that we can use it to direct the user either to the workouts page or to the single workout page. Next, we have the unmounted hook, and this is because we are about to access local storage, and we want to make sure that our page is mounted first before we access local storage, otherwise it might not be defined yet. Next, we are going to check if there is an unsaved ID inside of local storage. And to do this, we're going to set the unsaved ID variable over here to localstorage.getItem, and then we will use this key, unsaved ID. And this key we are going to define ourselves later on in the single workout page. If we don't find an unsaved ID, we're just going to set it to an empty string. This might not be necessary because it will be, I think, undefined anyways, but it won't hurt, so I'll just keep it. Next, we need to decide which page to direct the user towards, the workouts or the single workout. So we will use a simple if-else over here, and we will check if the unsaved ID has a value. Then we're going to use the router to push this route, workouts / and the unsaved ID that we found saved inside of local storage. If unsaved ID has no value, so there's no unsaved session, there's no unsaved session inside of local storage, we're just going to direct the user to the workouts page. And now if we uncomment this part, you can see that our page has directed us to the workouts page because we don't have an unsaved ID inside of local storage yet. So if we inspect our app and go to application, then local storage, you can see that if we filter here using unsaved, we have nothing yet. And finally, let's have a look at the single workout ID page. The first thing we will do is to grab the ID from the current route. And we can do this by defining our route and then grabbing the workout ID from this route by accessing the route.params.id. Next, we are going to create a workout name variable and set it to a ref that is initialized to an empty string. A ref is a reactive reference to a value that allows Vue to track changes inside of it and then update the DOM when it changes. When our variable changes inside the script setup, Vue is going to update it inside the template. Then we will create another ref for the workout date, and we will set it to today's date. So the first thing we're going to do inside our template is add a title to our page. And our title includes the workout ID that we have grabbed from the route. So if you have a look at our route over here, the ID is 1 and the title is displaying workout 1. Then we'll create a form to grab the workout info from the user. And first, we will grab the workout name by adding an input of type text. And here you can see that we are using a vModel property. vModel is a built-in Vue directive, and directives allow us to add extra functionalities to our HTML. What vModel does is that it creates two-way binding between our input and our state. So it's going to create a two-way binding between our workout name ref inside our script and our name input inside our template. So whenever the input is changed, the workout name is going to be changed, and whenever the workout name is changed inside the script, it's also going to change inside the template. So for example, if we add a paragraph over here, and let's display the value of the workout name. So currently it's empty. For example, if we change it to squats by default, you can see that we changed it inside the template and it's showing squats over here. If we update it inside the input to push-ups, for example, you can see that it's also getting updated inside the paragraph over here. So vModel is allowing us to very easily create two-way binding between form inputs and state. Next, we'll add another input to grab the workout date from the user. And as you can see, we are also using a vModel to have two-way binding between the workout date input and the workout date ref inside our script. Finally, we're just going to add a back button to the top of our page. And when it is clicked, we're just going to access the router and then go back to wherever we came from. So if I press back over here, I'm going to go back to the workouts page. Currently, we're not persisting the state of our workout. So if we change the values of the inputs over here, then restart the page, it's not going to be persisted. And this is what we're going to do next. Next, we need to watch for any changes that happen in the workout name or the workout date, and then save those changes into local storage. To do this, we're going to use a watcher. Watcher is a function that observes changes that happen in reactive values. And then whenever a change happens, it can run a callback function. So in our case, our watcher is going to watch for changes that happen in the workout name and the workout date. Whenever any of these refs change, the watcher is going to execute our callback function over here. It's going to pass this function the new name and the new date, and also the old name and old date. Now, when a change triggers our watcher, we're going to start saving to local storage. And to do this, we're going to use LocalStorage.setItem. Then we need to pass this a key and a value. The key can be whatever you want. I called it unsaved workout name, and then the value is the new name that we have over here. And we do the same thing for the workout date and the ID. Right, so now if we go to our workout and have a look at local storage, if we change the name of the workout, you can see that our watcher got triggered and it saved our session inside of local storage. And here you have the keys that we defined and the values that are currently saved inside of those keys. So if we change the date, you can see the date is updated as well. But if we reload the page, so I'm pressing Command R to reload the page. If we have a look inside of local storage again, you can see that our data is still saved inside of local storage, but it's not loaded yet inside of our workout. So now we need to load this data from local storage. So to load the data from local storage, we're going to use an onMounted hook to wait for the page to be mounted first before we start reading from local storage. So to load from local storage, we're going to use the getItem method and the key that we just set up here. We're going to do this for the ID, the name, and the date, and we're going to save them inside of temporary variables. Then we will check if there is an unsaved ID. If yes, then we're going to set the actual workout name with the value that we just grabbed from local storage and the actual workout date with the value that we just grabbed from local storage. So if we get back to our workout, go to local storage and delete everything inside it. If we reload the page, this is our first visit to the page, so nothing is loaded. Now, if we change the workout name and the workout date, you can see that our changes has been saved inside of local storage. And now, if we reload the page, you can see that our changes have been grabbed from local storage and loaded into our workout. Now we only have one problem left. If we leave this workout page, you can see our data is still saved inside of local storage, which means that each time we open our app again, we're going to get redirected to our workout session that we don't need anymore. So we need to clean up our local storage before we leave the workout. To do this, we're going to use the onBeforeRootLeave hook. And inside the onBeforeRootLeave hook, we're going to reset local storage. And to reset local storage, we're just going to use the removeItem method and then the keys that we set inside the watcher. So localStorage.removeItem, unsaved ID, then localStorage.removeItem, unsaved workout name, and unsaved workout date. Now, if we go back to our workout and we reload the page, you can see that our info is grabbed from local storage into the workout. So now if we press on the back button, so we're going to leave this route, and you can see that local storage now is cleaned up. So if I visit the workout 2, for example, it is not loading the data from local storage anymore because there's nothing to load there. One final thing, you can see that we are at the branch main. We have two branches here, the main branch and another branch called improved. So if we switch to the improved branch, I have added a composable to check if local storage is available. Following this mdn article, I'm also checking for errors when I try to access local storage. And instead of saving each property of the workout separately, I'm saving the whole workout as one object. So now we can set, get, and remove one object instead of 3. But in this case, we will use json.stringify when we are setting an item and json.parse when we are getting an item. And that's it for this video. Try out OneExercise. Don't hate it just yet, I'm still working on improving it.